Hello friends, welcome to the series in which we are discussing the multiple choice questions on Indian polity. Today we are going to discuss 10 multiple choice questions on the topic Union Territories. So the first question is, which of the following states was a union territory before attaining statehood? And the options are A. Mizoram, B. Meghalaya, C. Uttarakhand, or D. Sikkim. The correct answer is A. Mizoram. So Mizoram was a union territory before becoming a state. Other than that, certain other states which were earlier union territories include Manipur, Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh, etc. So these states were also union territories before they became states. Second question, which of the following is not a valid reason for creation of a union territory? The options are A. Strategic importance, B. Administrative consideration, C. Political consideration, or D. None of the above. Correct answer is D. None of the above. So since the question is asking an invalid reason, so none of the above means all these are valid reasons for creation of union territories. It could be due to strategic importance. For example, Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands are strategically important for India, therefore they are union territories. Administrative consideration could be the union territory of Delhi. For administrative convenience, this particular UT has been created. Similarly, for political consideration, for example, Chandigarh. So because of dispute between the states of Punjab and Haryana, Chandigarh as a union territory was created. Other than that, cultural distinctiveness could be also a reason. So cultural distinctiveness includes the union territory of Puducherry and that of Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli. So these are certain UTs which have been created because of their unique and distinct culture. Third question, which constitutional amendment act designated Part C and Part D states as union territories? The options are A. First Constitutional Amendment, B. 7th Constitutional Amendment, C. 42nd Constitutional Amendment, or D. None of the above. The answer is B. 7th Constitutional Amendment. So this amendment, along with the States Reorganization Act of 1956, designated Part C and Part D states as union territories. Fourth question, choose the incorrect statement. Option A, an administrator of a union territory is an agent of the president. B, the president can specify the designation of an administrator. C, the president can appoint the governor of a state as the administrator of an adjoining UT, or D, none of the above. The answer is D, none of the above. So the incorrect statement is none of the above. That means all the statements are correct. The first statement says the administrator of a UT is an agent of the president. It is true because a union territory directly comes under the control of the central government. The second statement says the president can specify the designation of an administrator. He could either be called an administrator or could be called a lieutenant governor. So that totally depends on the discretion of the president. This is also correct. Third, the president can appoint the governor of a state as the administrator of an adjoining UT. This is also correct because this power has been accorded to the president, and the administrator of Chandigarh is the governor of Punjab. So this is one example. Fifth question, the relationship of a union territory with the center is options A. Federal, B. Quasi-federal, C. Unitary, or D. Autonomous. The correct answer is C. Unitary. So since the union territory directly comes under the control of the union government, its relationship with the center or with the central government is unitary in nature. That means that all the control of the affairs of a union territory is directly as well as ultimately in the hands of the central government. Sixth question. The Parliament can make laws on any subject of which list in relation to the Union Territories? So the options are A. Union list, B. State list, C. Concurrent list, or D. All of the above. The answer is D. All of the above. Seventh question. Which Constitutional Amendment Act provided special status to the Union Territory of Delhi? Options are A. 61st Amendment, B. 91st Amendment, C. 44th Amendment, or D. 69th Amendment. Correct answer is D. 69th Constitutional Amendment. So this constitutional amendment created the National Capital Territory of Delhi having a legislative assembly. So this legislative assembly has 70 members and it was created by the 69th Constitutional Amendment. Eighth question. Which of the following union territories does not have representation in the Rajya Sabha? Options are A. Chandigarh, B. Puducherry, C. Delhi, or D. Jammu and Kashmir. The correct answer is A. Chandigarh. So we know that Rajya Sabha is the upper house of the Union Parliament and the members of Rajya Sabha are elected by the members of legislative assemblies of the states. So Puducherry, Delhi and Jammu and Kashmir are three such union territories that have their own legislative assemblies. That's how the members of legislative assemblies can send members to the Rajya Sabha. Whereas Chandigarh does not have a legislative assembly, therefore it is not eligible to send its members to the Rajya Sabha. Ninth question. After the merger of Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli, how many union territories are there in India? The options are A. 7, B. 8, C. 9, or D. 6. The correct answer is B. 8. So originally there were 7 union territories in India. After that, 2 new union territories were created. That is the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir and the Union Territory of Ladakh. That took the total number to 9. However, after that 2 union territories were merged, Daman and Diu and Dadra and Nagar Haveli, thereby taking the total number to 8. So there are 8 union territories in India as of now. Last question. Who appoints the Chief Minister of the Union Territory of Delhi? The options are A. President of India, B. Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, C. Prime Minister of India, or D. Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court. The correct answer is A. President of India. So the question is asking about the appointment and is not asking about the oath. So since the Union Territory of Delhi directly comes under the control of the central government, the appointment of the Chief Minister is theoretically made by the President of India and the oath is administered by the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi. The Prime Minister of India and the Chief Justice of Delhi High Court have no role to play whatsoever in the entire process of appointment as well as administering the oath. So thank you everyone. I hope you liked the questions. Do like, subscribe to this channel, like the video and mention your scores in the comment section. Thank you for watching.